Good morning. Welcome to Workforce Skills with John Morris. Another Monday morning out here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's getting warm out there. This time of year, we're going up, we're going down. A little bit of rain the last week, microburst out there. We don't know what's happening with the weather. End of the world's coming. Who knows? But what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about your employees. I want to talk about who your customer is. Your first employee, your first customer is just that. It's one and the same. Your employee is your customer. So today's message and kind of what I'm going to talk about is I want to go to you employers out there that are hiring people. I think the biggest mistake we think is these people are just here to make us money. That is not the case. You are here to help them get somewhere in life as well. They have financial burdens. They have stuff they need to pay for. They have bills. They have debt. They have a family that they're trying to raise and support. So it's no different than your customer out there. And let's put it in a painting aspect. If I go out there and I bid a residential house, I would go up, I'm meeting the homeowner, Mrs. and Mrs., Mr. So-and-so. I want to make sure that I'm giving them the best service I can. I want to make sure that I'm listening to their wants and needs. I'm not going to go in there and sell them something they don't want. That's not the case. And that goes with anybody in home services. If you are servicing somebody's home, we're not going in there and selling them what they don't need. Well, there's some people out there that not good business people that they're just trying to make money off of everybody. And they're not trying to look at a customer long-term. So what I do is when I look at a customer that I'm trying to sell them a paint job for the exterior of their house, I want to know that they're going to be a customer for a long time. I want, if I'm there for the inside, that, hey, down the road, I'm going to do the exterior of their home. Or if I'm there to do the exterior, I'm going to be there eventually to do the interior. What if I go there and all they want is the walls painted? They don't want the baseboards, the doors, the door jambs, ceilings painted. I'm going to do what they're asking for, but I'm also going to give them the option of something else. Okay, well, while we're doing the walls, if you want the baseboards done, here's how much it would cost on this trip. But I'm also going to let them know down the road, if you want us to come back, I'd be more than happy to do the baseboards. We'll give you the friends and family discount down the road because you're a repeat customer. We're going to take care of you. That is the goal. That is the goal with, I would say, the majority of business people out there owning their own business, because we want to create customer retention. We want to create a situation to where we have that customer. Next time they need services that we offer, they're coming back to us, not searching out the competition. We don't want them to go out there and forget about us. We don't want them to just all of a sudden 2 years down the road, oh man, I can't remember the company I hired, the name, the number, anything. We become irrelevant. And now they're hiring somebody else. So how do we change that? Well, it starts with our employees, our first customer. My very first customer is my employee. They're the ones out there servicing this person. They're the ones out there that are doing a job on the house. If they're painting the outside of the house, I want to know that they are doing a perfect job on this, and they're going to perform to the best of their ability. But they're also going to make that homeowner feel like they're number one. Nothing else matters. It's interesting. We're doing a small residential job this last week for a customer, and I had two painters on there. It was going to be a 3-day job, and second day, just one painter. The other one called out sick. As we're there, and I'm there with the painter, and we're talking and about the time frame to get the job done and how it works. And he goes, well, this has to be done today, right? I go, well, yes, but that was with two painters. Now it's just you. So now it's going to go into tomorrow, and it's probably just going to be you here as well. But the thing I explained to him is, I don't care how long this takes. I want it done right. I want to know that this job is done right. And I want to know that you did it to the best of your ability. I don't want you to cut corners. I don't want you to rush through this job. If you start cutting corners, we had a commercial job here recently that we did, and a painter that no longer works for us decided that he wanted to get this job done faster. We had all this metal, this steel, this piping that had to be primed and painted. We were running 2 crews. He was working the night crew. The other crew was day crew. He was knocking out twice the amount of the day crew. Well, what we didn't realize till it was too late was he was painting everything without priming it. All this steel, all this piping, all being painted without being primed. What benefit did that do for him? Nothing. He's not making more money by going faster. He gets paid by the hour. None of our employees are piecework employees. They're all hourly employees. So the only problem it caused us was 6 to 8 months down the road. All of a sudden, we're having a couple small issues with paint peeling off the areas that he painted. Now he's no longer with us. It's the company's problem. It's our problem. I have to go back and fix it. We gain nothing from this whatsoever. So as I'm at this residential and I'm talking to our painter and I'm explaining to him that exact scenario, and this is why I want you guys to take your time. I want it done the right way, because in the long run, it's going to cost us twice as much to go fix it than if we would have done it right the first time. We put ourselves in a bad situation. So what could I have done differently with this employee to make him feel like my number one customer? What changed? What went different? You can't do it with everybody. Some people just don't accept that. But if you can start to take care of your employees, take care of them as if they're your number one customer. Your number one customers out there, they're trying to look for the best quality for the best price out there. Same thing with your painters. They want to give you the best quality for the best price you're going to pay them. You have to think of it in those terms. You have to think of it as, how am I taking care of this employee? How am I getting him to do the best quality job that he possibly can? And it's by making him feel like he's number one. Now, that doesn't mean we got to treat every employee like their family. We do run a business, and I can't take care of everybody. We have more employees than you can imagine within our company. We are doing commercial painting all over the whole state of Arizona. So I can't be in every place. I can't take care of every employee. But today, before coming in and do this podcast, I actually texted about 10 of my employees, telling them, hey, I think you're doing a great job out there. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you. Every single one said, thank you. That meant a lot to me. It's an honor to work for you. I love working for PHP Commercial Painting. This is my home. This is my place. This is where I want to be. That means more to me than anything. But at the same time, what did it mean to them to get that text from me? What did it mean to get that message from the guy who signs our paycheck, the guy who owns a company? He appreciates me. That means something. That little attaboy can do wonders for anybody out there. We're just blue collar workers. We're out there working our ass off. We're working in the heat. We're working in the summer. We work outdoors. We do everything we possibly can, and we just need to know that we're appreciated. That's all I'm trying to give my employees. And for you employers out there, you need to start to look at your employees. You need to start thinking about how you can take care of them. Maybe it's company barbecue. Maybe it's something a little bit different. One thing we do is we have a commercial ice machine in the back of the warehouse. We make sure all of our guys have filtered water and ice for them. And I've heard some employers say that, well, that's not my job. They can go pay for their own water and ice at Circle K. It's not much money. Well, if it's not that much money, do it for them. That little bit goes so far. It goes such a long way for these guys. So we have 2 full-time delivery guys. They deliver paint and materials to all the job sites throughout the day. They're nonstop running and going. And we always make sure during the summertime, during the hotter months, they've always got extra water jugs on the back of their truck full of water and ice to switch them out on the job sites. I want to know that my employees are taken care of. If you go to one of the quickie marts around the corner, I think it's maybe $1 for a gallon of water. Actually, the machine, I think it's 25 cents a gallon or whatever it is. And you get a bag of ice, and yeah, it's only a couple bucks a day, but that couple bucks goes a long way for these guys. And when you look at the grand scheme of things and what it's really going to cost us as a company, it's nothing. It is nothing compared to the production you'll get out of the guys working for you. Take care of the men and women that work for you. Yes, they could go somewhere else. Yes, they could work anywhere, but they chose to work for you. Take care of them. And for you out there that maybe you're not in this industry, maybe you just watch this podcast to learn life skills or whatever, and maybe you're the homeowner that's hiring these guys to do the work on your house. When it comes summertime, one of the worst things I had years ago, I remember this. Homeowner came out drinking an ice cold glass of iced tea, and it was middle of summer here in Arizona, and I think it was about 112 degrees that day. It was hotter than hell. And this guy came out and he goes, man, I don't know how you can handle working in heat like this, as he's drinking his iced tea before he goes back in his air-conditioned house. And for a second there, I thought about it. I thought, you know what? I didn't even think about the heat. I got my water jug. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm painting. I've got a job to do. I got to get this done. But once he said that, I started focusing more on the heat. I started focusing more on what was happening around me and not so much the job. For you homeowners out there, and one thing I would recommend to anybody is the second you get some contractor, somebody working on your home, I don't care if they're coming in your house to work on an appliance, I don't care if they're your landscapers, always keep cold water and offer them a bottle of water. How much is it just to offer them a bottle of water? That goes so much farther. It just shows a little appreciation that you're aware of what they're doing, that you're aware that they're working hard, and you're doing a little something to take care of them. I'm telling you, it will change everything just that little bit. You know, you can go to the store and buy a case of water for less than $5. So what's it really cost to show a little appreciation to the people that are doing the work for you around your home? It's so simple. It's so easy. And I'm telling you, the guys will appreciate it. The women will appreciate it much, much more. We had an air conditioning company come to our house. There was a girl that came. She was doing a maintenance thing for us. She's working inside, going outside and checking. I made sure she had 2 or 3 bottles of water during the whole time that she was at our house. That is called taking care of someone working on your home. She appreciated it so much. And, I don't care what they're there for, what they're doing. Just show a little bit of appreciation to the people that are doing this. As employers, we look at our guys and, yeah, they're there to do a job. And I could sit here and say, well, I pay them to do this. They must do it. And I know I've talked about that in the past, but there is another side to this, and it's taking care of them at the same time. Right now, we're looking at what we can do to have a barbecue for our guys before the summer gets too hot. Or, Greg, my partner in the business here, was talking about having a seafood boil. He tried crawdads for the first time this weekend. Some people call them mud bugs, and he did a boil and did those. And so now we're talking about maybe we do that for the company. And how do we perform that at the shop and have the whole company here, maybe cut out early on a Friday, have everybody end up here at the end of the day. Just a little sign of appreciation. It doesn't take much. It's interesting because I've had people say, oh, all you do is sit in your office and count your money. No, it's more than that. It's really difficult. There's more to running a business than just counting your money. You're looking at your money every single day, what's going in and what's going out. And my employees will get paid before I ever see a dime. I make damn sure of that. And that will be the way I run this business to the very end, because they are my first customer. I want them to have a paycheck. I want them to be comfortable. But the other thing I want to get to know is, what are their bills? What are their wants and needs? I want to sit down with each of my employees and find out, hey, where are you struggling in life? I want to know about your personal life. What are you dealing with? What kind of bills do you have? Are you looking to buy a new car? Are you looking to buy a house? Where do you see yourself in 2 to 3 years? I want to help them get to that point. Some of them had told me, well, I want to be an estimator. I want to be a superintendent. Great. What do we need to do to get you there? Let's set up a plan of what you need to do to get to that point. That's with them staying with this company. That's not them working here and then going somewhere else. That's our expectations within our company. Now, going to a different company, every company is going to be different. Everybody has a different way of doing things. I'm going to show them I appreciate them. I want them to get there. I'm going to train them. I'm going to make it happen. Once a month, we do our life skills class at the office for employees that want to be here. It's coming up this next Saturday. I'm going to do something different with all my employees, and I'm going to get a form that they fill out that says, here's what I'm looking for. Here's my situation. Here's what I need. It's going to be a questionnaire so I can get to know them better and help them meet their needs. If I can't, then I shouldn't employ them. I shouldn't even be running this business, because they are the most important thing. They are number one in this company, period. And the way to look at your employees to see if they are doing what they need, start to watch them. Is there boredom? Do they seem bored in their position? Do they seem bored in their job? What are they looking for? Are they starting to show up late once in a while? Start to look for changes in their habits of what they're doing, so you can start to be aware of how you can help them, how you can help them get to that next level. Because if they don't feel appreciated, they're going to start doing those things. They're going to start feeling bored at work. They're going to start missing work. They're going to start doing things that aren't to the best of their ability. You're going to see the profit margins start to shrink or drop off of certain jobs that they're on. Start being more aware of your guys and your employees. Some people out there, and I'm guilty of this at one time or another. I'm more focused on landing work and taking care of my customers out there that I think are my customers, and how easily we forget they're not the number one customer. It's the employee. You have to take care of your employees. They will always be number one. It's there. It's interesting because as a blue collar worker, we feel like, we just go out there, we grind, we bust our ass every day. We're doing everything we can to make our money, and no one appreciates us. And it's difficult. I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to this and you're not a blue collar worker, you need to start taking care of these people out there. These are the ones that are making everything work around us. We send our kids to college to go get a college degree to become anything. I'm telling you right now, the people in the trades are going to be the next generation of wealthy people if they continue with this, because the wages are going up, the cost of everything's going up. I want to say about 5-6 years ago in Arizona, it seemed like top pay for good painters was about $18 an hour. It's now around $26 to $28 an hour for top painters. That's within 5 to 6 years. If that's what's happened over the last 5 to 6 years, what's going to happen over the next 10 years and then the next 20 years? Either something's going to change, things are going to level out, or they're going to keep continuing to rise. There's going to hit a point to where there's a demand for trades out there. I firmly believe that for every 50 people leaving the construction industry, there's only 2 or 3 replacing them. And what that means is more demand. That means more wages, increase in wages. It's going to continue to go up. So you have to start looking at this and think, okay, something's got to give, something's got to change. And you can make more money in the trades without paying for a college degree or going out and getting any schooling. You can go out there, learn a trade, and within 5 to 8 years, you'll be making more than somebody that went to college. I promise you, it can happen without the debt, without having to pay for that college degree. The increase of a college degree keeps going up and up and up, but yet so do the wages in the construction industry. But the wages for those college degrees aren't going up because they are mass producing the amount of people that are going into those skills, those jobs. Those job markets are getting flooded. So what is going to change? You have to change how we look at what we're doing. I'm a firm believer with school. I think a lot of people think high school is a one size fits all. And it really isn't a one size fits all. I believe when I was going to school, I remember auto mechanics and metal shop and woodworking shop and home economics. And there was a sewing class and a cooking class. There's all this. I don't know if they still do that in schools, but we need to start educating our kids to be able to go into something else. It's not everybody has to go to college. Everybody has to continue their schooling to get anywhere. And I think sometimes, I think I have an uncle, he became a career student. I think he's in his 70s now, maybe, and he's still a career student. He's never done anything with himself. Something has to change. Something has to give. We can't continue like this. We are always looking for somebody with no experience to come work for us, but with a great attitude. I'm looking for motivated people, great attitudes that are willing to work and willing to learn something. That's my first customer. That's the next customer I'm looking for. That person that's got the potential, that drive to go out there and make a difference and learn something. I want to work with my hands. I want to build something. I want to create something. I don't want to just sit at a desk and go to school and get an education. And I look at half the stuff I learned in school. I don't use half of it now as an adult. The difference between when I was growing up and now, and I think every generation does this, we feel sorry for the next generation. We feel like they don't realize how good or how bad it is. It's back in my day, I'm not going to be one of those guys that constantly says that. But the reality is, I think we live in a time to where technology's taking over. everything with AI and chat GPT and everything else that we do. And everything is so simplified, and you pretty much can't do anything nowadays without technology. Even when it comes to what we do as far as painting, I saw something the other day. It was a robot that was painting a wall, but it had overspray on the ceiling, the floors, everywhere else. Maybe they'll fix that and fine tune it one day. But when it comes to the exterior of a home, a house, I don't think they're going to create a machine to take over for us. It's not going to happen. We have to be able to get a skill. We have to be able to learn how to build things, or nothing's ever going to get built down the road. We have to continue to learn new ways to paint, new technology when it comes to paint. But at the same time, the new ways and technology is, how do you make a roller sleeve better? How do you make a paintbrush better? How do you create new tips for the spray machine to have the paint flow on better, have less overspray, less outputtage, and cover more? What's not going to change is the person behind that roller, behind that brush, behind that spray gun, applicating on the substrate of what they're putting it on. So what are we doing to learn to become better? How do we change this? We have to continue to train. I want to teach people the basics of painting and how to grow from that. So if there's somebody brand new walking through the door today that has zero experience and is willing to come to work and start at $18 an hour, guess what? I'm going to give him a job. I'm going to get him out there. I'm going to teach him. I'm going to train him. I'm going to show him how to do it. That will be my next customer that I'm going to do everything possible to make sure they're happy and they learn and they get some quality and something from being here. That's what it comes down to, because your customer receives something from you. They receive quality. They receive workmanship. It's the same with the guy walking through the door, the girl walking through the door. You have to give them the exact same experience. We create an experience for our customers. It's a paint job. There's a process from going out there and bidding the job, to meeting the customer, to writing the proposal, to collecting the deposit, to finishing the job, doing a final walkthrough, collecting a final payment. It's the same with our customer of an employee walking through the door. The interview process is the same no matter what. They fill out our application. The questionnaire through the interview process is identical, whether I do it or somebody else in the company does it. It's a script we read off of. Their first week of training is always with the same person. Their first week of training is with Larry, who works for us. He is their trainer. He works with them for a week. He goes through everything, and he's given a questionnaire to fill out at the end of the week on the person he was training. And at the same time, at the end of that, everybody starts on a Monday. They end the week on a Friday. And then the following Monday, that new employee meets in the office. They have a questionnaire they fill out. They sit down with somebody in the office. They talk about their week, how it went, what they feel needed to change. That is customer service. That's customer satisfaction. We give our employees a questionnaire after their first week to see how they like it here. I want the brutal truth. I want honesty. It's no different than you asking your customer to give you a 5-star review. I'm not looking for a 5-star review from our employees. I'm looking for the honest truth, because I need to know what I need to change. I need to know what I need to fix within the company to make them feel more appreciated. What do they need to feel like they deserve to work here, like they want to work here? We do our 9:00 Zoom meeting every day, Monday through Friday. It's what's your win from the previous day? What was your win from the previous day? What was exciting? What went well? Today being Monday, it was all about the weekend, and yesterday was Easter and what they did and what happened. Everybody has a different win. Tomorrow being Tuesday, it's what's their win from Monday. Maybe it's something personal. Maybe it's something to do with work. A lot of our guys come on there and it has to do with work, their win of what's happening on the job. One guy today said, my win today is Money Monday. We're making money. Let's keep working. That was pretty cool. That's exciting to listen to. I'd love to share with you guys a little more. If you want to know a little more about what's your win, Greg, who works with us, my partner in business, started his own podcast. It's called What's Your Win with Greg Quinlan, and it's on YouTube. You can find it there. Check it out, like and subscribe it. It'll give you a better idea of what we do within the company. Each of his podcasts that he just started, I think he's on his 4th, maybe 5th one. Each podcast is with an employee that works with us. They talk about what their win is. It's exciting for us. It keeps the employees engaged with what we're doing here. I want them to feel engaged and a part of everything. I want them to be a part of decision making within the company. Every time we need to start a new job, we have a meeting in a conference room with the crew that's going to work on it. We have the estimator, we have Greg in there, we have the project manager, we have the supervisor of the job, maybe a crew lead, and they go, we call it the war room. We're going to tactically attack this job. That's our war room to figure out how we're going to work this job to be the most profitable. And everybody's opinion matters within that meeting. Now, when we walk out of there, everybody's identical. They know exactly what they're doing to accomplish this job to get it finished from start to finish. And it's going to go smooth. And if something changes during the process, then we regroup in the war room again and we come up with another plan, another idea of how to fix it, how to move forward, how to proceed. That's just what we do. And that makes the employee feel appreciated that he's got a decision making in that. You have to start looking at what you can change within your company to make your employees feel like they are your number one customer. Because that's what matters, that they want to work for you. They want to be there. They want to be appreciated. I want everyone working for me to know that I appreciate every single one of you. And I know a lot of my employees watch this podcast. Hell, one of my employees that works for me, actually, she got hired because she had watched these podcasts for a year, and then she came in and applied for us and started working for us. She's a great painter, and I'm honored to have her with us. She is doing a phenomenal job, and I know she's going to listen to this and hear this. I want you guys to know your employees must be your first customer. You have to show them appreciation. You have to show them that you value them. Give them a ice cold water in the middle of the summer when they're working out there in the heat. Take care of them. Appreciate them. Show them that they're number one to you, because without them, you have nothing. And if you sit here and you tell me, oh, I can hire more, then you're losing right there. You are not going to become the company that you want to be. To become the company you want to be, you have to appreciate your employees. You have to create an environment where your employees are your number one customer. Once again, guys, thank you for joining me. Stay hungry.